Hello, everyone out there in Radio Land. This is the CHS Weekly Report. I am your host, Mr. Blumenthal, CHS Assistant Principal. This week, our guests are the Chesterton High School Science Olympiad team. Hello, team, and thank you for coming in today.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Yay. Hello.
I am very excited to learn more about your club. The questions out of the gate are hard-hitting and fast, furious, all of the things. First, introduce yourselves one at a time and tell me your grade. Go.
I'm Logan Snyder. I am a senior here at Chesterton now.
Hi, I'm Oliver Wood. I am a junior at Chesterton High.
I am Ross Saunders, and I am a senior.
I'm Callum Webb, and I'm a freshman.
And I'm Olivia Kellaway, and I'm also a senior.
Fantastic. All of the questions get easier from there. Nicely done.
Yeah.
So when the average listener in Radioland hears about Science Olympiad, there are two words to the title of this organization. The first is science, the second is Olympiad. Someone briefly describe what Science Olympiad is for the listening audience to help them get a better understanding about what we're going to talk about today and how awesome this team is.
So, Science Olympiad is a academic competition that high schools and middle schools participate in. There's a multitude of events stemming from biology to chemistry to physics to just general earth and space sciences that students compete in as little groups of 1, 2, or 3. And then from there, they combine scores together for the overall team score to compete as a group at competitions in various places.
Okay, so similar to the Olympics, there are a variety of events in different categories where individually you're competing against everyone in that event, and then everyone's points get put together for team victory.
Yes.
Yep.
Essentially.
Okay, so yeah, it is
right.
like the Olympics, but with science. All right, so
Way cooler.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Way cooler. That's an important point. So talk to us more about what the events are specifically, so that again, everyone in Radioland has an understanding about how you compete with biology, because that's a new one.
Well, there's 3 broad categories. There's build events, test events, and trial events. Seems about right. Yeah, for the build events, you have a pre-built thing that you bring in, like a bridge, small scales, like wind turbines and the like. For tests, you go in there and take a test, and whoever scores the highest wins.
Sometimes
and for
there's
trial
a
events, it's just fun. You do it. It doesn't count towards your score. So
Okay.
I compete in mostly building events, or I'm trying to this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also lab events that require more of you are doing things actively in the competition. So you'd be either working with chemical reactions or trying to determine who is like in forensics, for example, you would be trying to determine who is the committer of the crime.
There's a lot of stuff going on in forensics, but that's basically it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. All right, so that's a lot. So how many different individual events are there?
20 plus 3?
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
20.
At least 20.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so then are they all equal points?
Are they?
Well, it's kind of like golf. Your standing gets you, depending on how well you do, you get a certain amount of points. And you want the least amount of points at the end of the day. So that means that first place you get 1 point, second place you get 2 points, and so on. Yeah.
Like they're all equal points, but you have to win as many events as possible to get your score as a team
Low.
the lowest.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many members are on our Science Olympiad team?
17, I think.
Last year it was around 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then is that basically 1 or 2 of the 20 plus events per person, or there's some we're not doing?
We have about 3 events per person last year. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone's doing at least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Logan got stuck with 4.
so then that means that everyone on the team you're playing to your strengths.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're mostly a build person, well, then that's where you're really going to go. But if you're really a lab person, That's where you're really going to go. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Okay. And then, so let's talk about now, like, the season. So when does Science Olympiad start?
Mid-October, I think. That's when they said.
We're kind of kicking it off right about now, but we don't have any events until a little later.
Yeah.
We get mostly invitational type of stuff that we don't really have to, but the big ones are regionals and state.
State will be at Purdue Northwest, and regionals might be either at IUN or Purdue Northwest.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So when will regionals be?
Regionals are typically in February, and state is typically in March.
Pretty sure we're also planning to do an invitational, the preparation stage in like December, right?
Yes.
We're trying to do a couple invitationals. We
Yeah.
only did one last year.
Yeah.
We're trying to get all our events done by November, all ready for invitationals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Trying to get done early.
All right. So how many like competitions are there total? Let's say regular season before regionals.
Well, each coach has, or the coach has to sign us up for individual meets, per
Yes.
se. That's the easiest way to describe it. So they can put you in as many as we can fit. But last year we only had 2.
I think it was only one, wasn't it?
We had
one
one
invitational and
one
one
regional.
regional.
In my sophomore year, we had no invitationals, and we just
Yeah.
went straight to regionals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is some of it is just a work in progress.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Building,
Trying to figure out the team.
a larger and larger team, and working on more, let's say, regular season tournaments in preparation for postseason. Let's say.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that makes sense. Okay. So are they're after school, obviously. Are they weekends mostly or after school? How does that work?
For our competitions, they're mostly on the weekends, right? Saturdays.
Yes.
Yes.
Our competitions are almost always on Saturday.
Yep.
And
Yes.
then we do practices most days after school.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So let's go back around then and talk more about the individual events that you like really like, and or hopefully the ones that you were also involved in because you like them. Let's start over here this time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm the forensics guy. So that's my kind of niche little thing. It's a lab event. It's kind of like what it sounds like. You get materials and you have to use them to solve a crime. So like you burn fiber or you investigate fingerprints and various liquid samples. It's a lot of fun. I like it. There's another one I like to do that we don't have this year, but it's about time, which is you build a clock and you measure time. It sounds really boring. I liked it a lot, but they don't have it this year, so now I'm just forensics.
My favorite events are the biology study events. So I liked ornithology in middle school, and I did forestry last year. I got a gold at ornithology at state, and then I got a silver at state with forestry.
Ornithology is for the birds, right?
Yes, study birds.
Gotcha.
Last year I did flight. We got first in, me and Oliver. I really enjoyed that. I did all building events. I did scrambler, bridge, and flight.
What's Scrambler?
So you have to build this launcher and a buggy.
Okay.
And you have to launch the buggy. There's an egg on the front. And you have to go like a certain distance, and you don't want to crack the egg. But this year is a little different. They're having us curve around, what is it, a bucket?
A bucket, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year I did flight with Ross, as he said, and I liked it. We placed first. It was a struggle, though. We had to wait till last minute for our plane.
Oh, yeah.
Not doing that again. The waiting part. And this year I'm doing wind turbines, which is all about building a wind turbine.
So when you're building a turbine, you're going for efficiency?
Yeah.
Okay. So like for flight, it's distance. That makes sense.
Time.
Well, it's time.
Time.
It would fly in a circle.
Oh, okay.
So it would go in a circle.
Similar.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, okay, interesting. So with the wind turbines, you're looking for most
Yep.
output. Okay.
I've done a variety of things stretching from lab to build to study events. But my favorite event personally is detector building. Detector building is a half study, half build event where you are essentially utilizing basic chemical or physics principles to create a detector out of a Raspberry Pi or out of an Arduino or like controller boards to go to competition with and try to get the most accurate measurement or reading with your scale or measure.
Okay. So that's a build event also.
Yes, but there's also a test associated with it to make sure that you understand the principles behind what you are doing.
Got it. Okay. This is a lot of work, you guys. This is a lot. Okay. So, oh wow. So it sounds like in addition to wide variety of opportunities in science to compete against other area schools in Science Olympiad, the other question I had was, and this is probably just a confirmation, is that you have an idea about what it is you're going to be doing for the most part, except probably the testing. Is that right?
Yeah.
So even the lab events, the tournament provides that information so you can practice or at least have some idea about what you're going to be doing before you get there. Is that right?
They have a website that they post on for the number of each event and everything that you do in that event.
Okay.
Some build events have like time logs you have to have when you go impound, like Scrambler. Me and Logan had a problem with that. We had no test log, nothing on our test log, so we got points knocked off for that.
Okay, so you mentioned you have to sequester the buggy. Is that what you're saying? Impound.
Yes.
Yeah. What does that mean?
They basically check like your buggy, your launcher, make sure it's all in the requirements for all the length and stuff.
I get
make
it.
sure you're in the requirements
That you built it, not somebody else.
Yeah.
I got it. You're not. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Okay. And that takes place that morning or the day of.
The day of,
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as you get there, you would go.
I was going to say, you don't get it back until after the competition.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So switching gears. See what I did? Science.
Yeah.
No. All right. Sorry. Bad joke. So why should everybody join Science Olympiad? Give us the sales pitch. People are listening in their cars or on their smart speakers all around the greater Duneland School Corporation boundaries, but really, let's be honest, the entire planet. Why would someone listening today want to join Science Olympiad or tell a loved one to join Science Olympiad?
Well, first of all, it's really fun. You'll get to learn skills, science-related skills, and you make friends, so it's all good.
Some of the skills he's talking about is learning to learn. You have a certain time limit to learn all that you need to know for that event. Teaches you how to be prepared for tests like the SATs, which public standardized tests. No one likes them.
Okay.
Science Olympiad is also really good for anyone who is pursuing or have any sort of interest in science or science-related fields like engineering. Because instead of you just sitting down in a classroom expecting to learn things that is put in front of you by a teacher, you yourself are the one researching, doing, and building the various things that the science is based off of. You are your own researcher, and you are acting like a real-life scientist. So you really, really get to learn hands-on experiences. You get to see what actual scientific concepts look like in the real world and how they're applied in realistic scenarios and situations.
Okay. That's a sales pitch, yeah. All right. So, in your experiences in Science Olympiad, what's the coolest thing that you have seen? Whether you have done it or saw someone else, what's the really the experience where that's a story you tell other people, hey, I just saw this really cool thing.
Jeez, that's a hard one.
That's a tough
I've
question.
always seen so many cool things over there. For example, our plane, we outlasted all the other schools by about 30 seconds.
Yes.
Which was, we all had the same plane, almost, same specifications,
Okay.
Yes.
and we just flew better.
Last year was your
Got
first
lucky.
year too, right?
Yeah.
Last year was both of our first years too, and we got first.
Fantastic. That definitely counts. Absolutely. Okay. Anybody else?
One of my favorite things to always see each year is when it comes to, there's events that typically have you build a bridge or a tower of some sort, but you need to make the structure as light as possible to use the least amount of material, because that's a big part of the event, how much weight you hold compared to the weight of your structure. And it's always interesting each year to see, going to regionals or to state, to see these structures that are only about 10 grams or about the weight of a pencil, being able to hold up 15 kilograms or about 33 pounds of sand.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, the efficiency of these structures and the real applications of these science and engineering.
That's amazing.
This is a little bit more team related, but it's always fun when everybody goes for bridge or flight and they just pile in and everybody goes in for the bridge and flight and we watch the planes go about. It's very fun.
very fun community experience.
Very team oriented.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great to see camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's not really any inter-team competition. We're all working.
Helping each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think there's any solo events, are there?
Unless you were for some reason stuck in an event and
Yeah.
like you just needed cover for a little bit.
Been there and done that.
So, is it too late for anyone interested to join Science Olympiad?
I don't think
No.
there's
No,
ever.
We
not.
need freshmen, sophomores, and juniors.
Okay. So, where do they go and who do they contact?
At CHS High School, you go to Mrs. Muller in A105.
A105, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She'll set you up from there.
Okay.
Yep.
Mrs. Wallace, Mrs. Henderlong, and Mrs.
Nichols.
Nichols all also are participants and help out with Science Olympiad.
And they'll talk to
And
you.
yeah, any science teacher could really help you answer any questions you might have, because I know Hennegar used to do Science Olympiad in the past, and other teachers have either had experience with it or know about it to a certain degree.
If you're middle school, talk to Mrs. Kyleman.
Okay. Well, this was great, you guys. Thank you so much. This has been the CHS Weekly Report. This is Mr. Blumenthal talking with members of the CHS Science Olympiad team. Thank you very, very much, and I look forward to hearing about all of your successes this season.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.